Listen to this propaganda video of Al Jazeera.
Israeli forces have taken control of a main border crossing cutting off a vital aid route and ordered thousands of Palestinians to evacuate from an area in the south. This is where it's all happening, in Rafah. The Rafah crossing on the border with Egypt is the main way that aid workers and limited supplies have been getting into Gaza. But with Israeli forces now in control, nothing is getting through. And remember, there are desperate shortages all over Gaza, especially in the north. Israel has been threatening to send in ground troops into Rafah for weeks, saying it wants to eliminate Hamas targets there. And on Monday, Israel's army told people to leave the eastern part of Rafah, which suggested the attack could happen anytime soon. Keep in mind that Rafah is the main area of Gaza where people have been sheltering to escape the bombing and the fighting everywhere else. There are about 1.5 million people there, although Rafah's been bombed too. And right now, there are massive concerns that attacking Rafah would be catastrophic for civilians. The US, Israel's strongest ally, has said it's a really bad idea. So has the UN.
If civilians suffered enough death and destruction, make no mistake, a full-scale assault on Rafah would be a human catastrophe.
By the way, this is all happening while negotiations are going on about a ceasefire, which Egypt and Qatar are mediating. Hamas said it's accepted a three-stage deal that would see an end to Israel's war on Gaza, as well as the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinians held in Israeli prisons. Some Gazans celebrated in the streets when they heard the news, but Israel has rejected the proposal. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it didn't meet their core demands, but Israel hasn't pulled out of the negotiations, so talks are still going on in Cairo, while people in Rafah worry about what might happen.
Right now, we're standing at the border between Israel and Egypt. The Rafah crossing is just a couple kilometers away, which is the southern point of the Gaza Strip that has been a point of a lot of contention. The whole world is talking about how there's no humanitarian aid going into Gaza and that certain people are preventing any aid from coming in. One thing you need to see here, the lineup of trucks. All of these trucks are waiting to get into the Rafah crossing. Humanitarian aid trucks waiting to get into Gaza. It's so ridiculous how the world sees one thing when we're literally standing and looking at the line of trucks.
Here is a skit made by Israeli TV mocking the so-called protesters in American college campuses. Please don't take this seriously, and also don't take seriously original protest as well. Just be vigilante.
From Columbia University, we need mineral water, we need organic food, we need soy milk. Okay, Cameron is allergic, so we also need almond milk, the expensive brand. We also need organic tents, free-range blankets, gluten-free sunscreen. We need sun and rain, and at the same time.
This is basic humanitarian aid.
Intifada! 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 Intifada!
What's intifada?
Oh, it's this amazing salad with like tomatoes and olive oil and some sprinkles of jihad on top.
Oh my God, I want intifada.
Yeah, we'll have 2 intifadas. Intifada, 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 intifada.
Hamas are not terrorists. Yay! Islamic Jihad are not terrorists.
Yeah!
October 7 is not real. Yeah! October is not a month. Yeah! Beyonce's Jolene is good.
Hey, Dad, so what do you think about Israel? Oh, yeah? So I love Hamas. Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna tattoo Hamas logo all over my face. I hate you, Daddy! Oh, wait, can you Venmo me like 400 for a new tattoo?
I'm here because... wait a minute. Can someone Google how to put on a keffiyeh?
Also, we need an electric air pump for the inflatable watermelon.
I can't.
I know. I know.
I just can't.
I know.
And I tried, you know? I tried so hard.
These demonstrations are not anti-Semitic. I have no problem with the Jews. The Jews are very nice. It's only against Zionists. Zionists should be
Anti-Israel host rolls
exterminated!
eyes at heartbreaking story from a sister of Israeli hostage. Gets fired after 2 days due to backlash.
I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right, thanks for joining.
Years ago,
Stick
still
around,
true
more
today.
Rising coming up next.
Prime Minister, is it your intention to bomb civilians?
We didn't plan it that way. How many instances do people know in the world where two parties that are at war, that one should warn another party, look, there's a bomb there, take care of it. Our children are in shelters, living in shelters for 2.5 years. I haven't seen, nor read, nor heard that the world was so horrified. People say to us, pull back to the borders of 67, and then there will be peace. We were at the borders of 67 in June in 67 and in May 67. Why was there war? And immediately after the war, we said, let us sit down and negotiate peace. They didn't do it. We have the right to exist at all. Decent.
Do you ever doubt the correctness of your policy?
No, sir. What do you mean, my policy? Our policy is to keep our people alive and to keep our...
It's everywhere. Anti-Semitism. I'm shocked. If I thought racism was bad against people like me in the 70s, when this country saw an influx of people of colour, things have settled down. People have come to accept that humans come in all colours and that we are all equal. Yes, of course, you get your occasional racist, but in general, I am not afraid to show my blackness, as it were, for fear of reproach by what would appear to be normal people. We've moved on, or so I thought. So I find this open anti-Semitism extremely unsettling, especially from people who should know better. Jewish people are literally being hounded out of our cities, our schools, and in particular, our universities. The weekly pro-Palestine marches have made parts of the UK no-go areas for Jewish people and brought a whole host of unsavoury characters out of the woodwork. Many of these protesters have become a kind of open season for racism. Remember the teacher who had the racist placard of Rishi and Suella as coconuts? And take Dana Abu Kama.
My words were taken out of context and they were framed as me supporting harm to innocent civilians, which is completely false and completely untrue. I think it's an outrageous claim that the Home Office is making by deeming me a national security threat. I'm a 19-year-old who has done nothing but go to school and advocate for social justice and try and be an asset to my community. So by saying that I pose a threat to public security and national security is a completely baseless claim.
Yeah, so that was Dana Abu Kama, a Palestinian law student and leader of Friends of the Palestinian Society at the University of Manchester, following her speech in university demonstrating where she said she was full of joy and pride that Palestinian resistance had come to this point. She said that her visa was revoked on the grounds of national security, with authorities citing her as a risk to public safety. And there she was, trying to squirm out of it. She's come from somewhere where there will be little freedom of speech. Supposedly normal people carrying swastikas, calling for intifada and chanting from the river to the sea, showing support for Hitler in some places is seen as cool. Remember the projection on Big Ben? People unashamedly projecting their virtues, even in our politics. People standing for high office, for leadership positions who are meant to have a sense of themselves and embroiled in all of this. Green Party candidate Madison Weldon standing at the next general election as the candidate for Warrington North. She said that both Israel and Hamas are culpable for the October the 7th attack. Well, that's rubbish, Madison. The people culpable for October the 7th are the planners and perpetrators of it. That's Hamas, not Israel. Her comment suggests that a portion of blame for this horrendous attack should be attributed to Israel. I mean, what is wrong with these people? We've gone backwards. I blame this on fast-paced, uncontrolled, unvetted and in many cases illegal immigration. Ironically, I'll probably be called a racist or far-right for saying this. A very odd insult, by the way, to a person of colour. We've imported foreign conflicts and they're fighting on the streets of this country. We need to get a grip before this becomes the norm.